Frozen pierogies are one of my favorite things in the world. They are a total childhood favorite. My brother and I lived on them when we were growing up, and they're just great. And I kind of don't treat them like I would, you know, the homemade kind. If somebody's making me homemade pierogies, or if I'm making my own, I really love them to be very simple, just like butter and maybe some fresh dill, maybe some sour cream, and just keep it really clean. But with frozen pierogies, I feel like they are just an opportunity to get creative and top them with tons of good stuff and just make them amazing. So I'm gonna make frozen pierogies 5 different ways, and it's gonna be great. To start things off, I'm just gonna cook these in boiling water for about 5 minutes or until they float to the top, because they all need to be cooked before we can move on with all the other things. So I've got some sauerkraut and bacon ones here, which sound pretty good. And I've got some cottage cheese ones. So I'm just gonna get these boiling. The key to pierogies is to not drop them from way up here, because you'll definitely splash. You actually want to get your fingers really nice and close to the water. How many of these am I going to cook? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we need at least 25 here to make all our recipes. The first frozen pierogi recipe I'm going to make is kind of like a spin on a mushroom stroganoff. So instead of noodles, we're using pierogies. Pierogi stroganoff, or Peroganoff. I like it. So I'm going to use this guy, this induction burner, get it heating up. I think butter for this. So for the mushroom Peroganoff, I'm going to melt some butter in a pan. This thing should heat up any day now. And I just have some cremini mushrooms here that I've sliced. I was asked the other day how I feel about washing mushrooms, and I kind of just play it by ear. Like, if they look really dirty, I wash them, and if they don't, then I don't. Sometimes there's just a chunk of dirt that I can just like flick off with my finger. And if they get waterlogged, I just cook them longer until all the water comes out, and then they start to crisp up again after the water's gone. So this looks semi-warm-ish, so I'm gonna just start cooking the mushrooms. The pan's on kind of medium-high right now. So, I mean, I love getting a little bit of a brown edge on mushrooms. These ones are pretty dry, so it looks like I'm getting some brown bits. When you say crispy mushrooms, they're never really like crispy. But brown, I think, is the main thing for flavor. So once the mushrooms are kind of brown, looking like they're shrinking a bit, I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna grate in a clove of garlic, but I'm gonna turn the heat down a bit so it doesn't burn. With this stroganoff recipe, I'm not gonna fry the pierogies until they're crispy, because I kind of want to replicate the like slippery noodle feeling. So instead, I'm just gonna build the sauce now and then add the pierogies in. So sour cream, which is hot. Maybe a bit more. Let's say that's like a half a cup of sour cream. And then I have some mushroom stock that I made by just soaking some dried mushrooms in boiling water, which is delightful. Add a bit of that in. And that's pretty much the sauce right there. And then once that's nice and smooth, I'll add in the pierogies. Okay, so I just drained all the pierogies because we're gonna use them throughout the video. And I'm gonna add in, I don't know, 6 maybe? This is gonna be way more sauce than we need for this amount of pierogies. But look how nice that looks. So just let the sauce kind of coat these guys. And then let's stick them on a plate. So, yum. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little parsley over top because that's never a bad thing. And a little pepper. We've got mushroom stroganoff. Mushroom Peroganoff. Highly recommend. The next pierogi recipe is really not exactly a recipe, but neither is any of this really. And this is my weird childhood favorite pierogi strategy, which my brother and I used to make all the time. And we ate so many pierogies and we tried them so many different ways. And this one became just like a fan favorite. It was probably our go-to pierogi system for like, I don't know, a couple years anyway. So it's pierogies glazed in balsamic vinegar and dusted with Parmesan cheese. So pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna heat my pan back up here. Start with a little bit of butter. Not a ton, it's a non-stick pan. And then I'm just gonna drop the pierogies in, and I do kind of want them to get a little bit crispy here. I feel like we lived on nothing but pierogies for like our whole teenage years. Which isn't to say our parents didn't feed us properly. It was just like we were teenagers and we were just doing our own thing and going to parties and going to school and whatever, and we would just come home and it was the easiest thing to make, you know? We just always had pierogies in our freezer. So that didn't take long. I feel like they're already getting a bit crispy. Just give them a little flip. At this stage, it's just all about your level of patience, how brown you want to get them. Once they get a little bit brown and crispy, just dump in the balsamic vinegar and prepare for a bit of chaos. Oh, not so bad. Okay. Didn't come out as fast as I thought it would. All right. And then it's just a matter of tossing and tossing so that the balsamic vinegar reduces down into like a nice little glaze. And flip the pierogies over a little bit. Ooh, look at that. Oh my God, so good. And then chuck a bunch of pre-grated Parmesan cheese over them. We used to use like the powdery stuff, but this is freshly blender grated. Casey, if you're watching this, I know you're a little bit jealous right now. Although you probably made them for your own lunch today, so I'm sure you're fine. Look at that. They're like glossy and sticky. I think we started making these when like balsamic reduction was just kind of making waves on the food scene. Like you couldn't buy it pre-bottled yet or anything like that. So we thought we were being very, very ritzy by doing this reduced balsamic thing. And then of course I'm gonna put more cheese on top. Yum. I love it. What do you think? Mmm. Mmm. Oh, those are good. They're so good. They're like sweet and sour and cheesy. Mmm. Okay, so those are great. Love these. The next recipe starts with crispy pierogies, and I've just been crisping up a bunch behind me. And of course, with all of these pierogi techniques, I would normally make a lot more of them, but there's only 2 people here and we're making 5 different kinds of pierogies and we're not allowed to invite people over. So I kind of just have to make small amounts, but you can scale these up or down to your heart's content. So here I have some crispy pierogies. So they were boiled and then crisped up in a pan. And this is basically going to be like Pierogi Parm, which I think is pretty cool. All I'm going to do is spoon some tomato sauce. This is like homemade marinara sauce that I made. Spoon a little of that over the pierogies. And then I'm gonna sprinkle on a little bit of white cheese. This is actually a Bulgarian cheese called kashkaval. I guess you would normally use mozz, but that's not what I have. And this is better, in my humble opinion. And then quite a bit of parm. And then I'm just gonna shove them in the oven, kind of like pretty high heat, like 425 until the cheese is melted. Also, in the theme of finishing pierogies in the oven, this is one that I'm really kind of amazed that I've never done before, which is Pierogi Nachos. So I'm gonna take a few more crispy pierogies. This, I mean, I imagine I would normally be making like a big batch of these because they'd be meant to feed a lot of people. But we're making a small batch today. So all it is basically the pierogies are the tortilla chips. So I'm gonna put a bunch of stuff on them. I've got some cheese, I've got cheddar here. I might put a bit of this white cheese too. And I've got some red onion. I've got some black beans, which I just cooked in the Instant Pot. I've got, what else? I think everything else is supposed to go on top. Oh, jalapenos, my fave. I'm using fresh jalapenos here. This is obviously highly optional. If you're not into heat, that's fine. Pickled jalapenos are also wonderful, but let's go with these freshies. And then I'm just gonna shove this in the oven. See you in a bit. While the Pierogi Parm and the Pierogi Nachos kind of melt and crisp up, I'm gonna do a Canadian treasure. Well, it's a Canadian treasure now. I don't know if it's ever been done before until today, but I'm probably gonna YouTube it after this and find that like a bunch of people have done it, which always happens. But it is pierogi poutine. So grab a bowl, grab some pierogies. These ones have crisped up a little bit. And then on top of these guys, I've got the essential ingredient for poutine, which is cheese curds. I've seen a lot of restaurants call things poutine on their menus, and then they say they use aged cheddar cheese, which I'm not really like a huge traditionalist on most things, but to me, if I'm biting into a poutine, I want to bite into squeaky cheese curds. So I'm gonna drop a fair few on here. Honestly, I wasn't planning on doing this, and then I went to the grocery store this morning and I saw the cheese curds and I was like, oh, that's a thing that's happening. So I'm gonna put a lot on. And I had some leftover bacon from the rutabaga episode last week, so I cooked that up and I'll use a bit of that. Totally not a traditional thing for poutine, but it's going on. And then I made some gravy real quick a few minutes ago with some of that mushroom stock that I made with the dried mushrooms, as well as just some like concentrated beef stock that I had. And then I just thickened it up with a little cornstarch slurry. It's a quick gravy, you know? It's like if you need gravy, you can have it. Oh, and I added a bit of butter to that too. And I'm just gonna douse this whole thing. It's a little lumpy, isn't it? And I don't know about you, but another thing about poutine for me is I want lots of gravy. Like I want it to be swimming. So there you have it. It's swimming. Pierogi poutine. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. I might put a few green onions on top just to give us the illusion of health. Because that's what everybody wants when they're eating potato dumplings with gravy and cheese, right? the illusion of health. Okay, so that's that. So good. I'm so excited to eat that. It's almost a shame we're not hungover today, because this is like everything we need to cure a hangover. Should have dipped into the wine a little more last night. It's messy, but it should be messy, I think. Oh my God. Look at this insane thing. We're getting to the final stretch here. Let's see what's going on with the stuff in the oven. Here's the Perogy Parm. I'm pretty into that. Look at that. This thing needs no plate. It's just good to go. You can stick that in the middle of the table, tell people to watch it because this thing's gonna be hot. Maybe a little bit of parsley because we have it here. Look at that. Perogy Parm. That's like a almost fancy dinner with frozen pierogies. Done. Amazing. Nothing more needs to be said here. All right, so last but not least, we've got these nachos. Nacho-rogies, I think is what they're called. So I'm just gonna top them with a few more things. I've got some tomatoes here, and I might just mix these up with some cilantro and more red onion in raw form this time, and a bit of salt. I think I have some lime. Just give that a little toss around. And I've got basically like a quick little salsa, or like pico de gallo. So I'm just gonna stick with the cast iron serving vessel here and top it with some of this salsa right in the middle. And maybe a bit more sour cream. We haven't used very much sour cream in any of these, just in the mushroom one. That's it. Big blob of sour cream in the middle. Bit more cilantro on top of that because I'm a big fan of it. Anything else? I forgot I had avocados, and I feel like it's my duty to use some on these nacho-rogies. I might try and get a nice little kind of fan motif. Right on top? No, that would wreck it. There we go. Nacho-rogies. Done deal. We've gotten to the end of our leveled up frozen pierogi extravaganza. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you liked this episode. I hope you're gonna go and make some of these pierogi creations, and please let me know which ones you make and which ones are your favorite. As always, you can find me on Instagram at How to Make Dinner, or you can find me here. I'm always hanging out in the comments, and we'll see you next week when we make something else.